Hi everyone! Thank you for tuning into this video. For those of you who don't know, I'm Cymphoni Fantastique, composer and musician. I'm also a fiscally sponsored artist with The Field. Yay! Okay, so today I want to talk about the concert series I'm preparing for 2024. These concerts are going to be publicly funded and freely accessible to any and all people. Also, yay! They'll mostly be comprised of new music and span a variety of genres and ensembles. But before we get into that, I'd like to make a quick plug. I've restarted my Patreon! Yay! Right now it's kind of new and small, but if you subscribe to it, you'll get nice little perks like getting an avatar. There he is, he's off the screen. Getting an avatar for my videos and getting special access to my personal projects. And some more unspecified perks in the future. I've got some ideas floating around, but we have to kind of see how it pans out. Now, full disclosure, for my fiscally sponsored projects, everything I post about them are going to be freely available. So you can go onto Patreon and it's not like paywalled or anything like that. So you don't have to subscribe to see any news on the publicly funded stuff, and I'm just going to post it like everywhere basically. So basically, if you want more info on this project, you can still head over there or on my other social media to get the latest news. Okay, now let's talk about the project. Let's talk about why I wanted to do this project. Very simply, I want to lower barriers for venues to be able to host performers, and I want to lower the barriers for large and small ensembles to obtain music to perform. A way that I found that I could do that was to create more fun and interesting public domain and Creative Commons music. My hope is that by lowering the barriers, we can expand access to great music programming to underserved communities, which is where I want most of my series to be held. A little bit more about me is I have been arranging, composing, and performing in large and small ensembles across North America for about 17 years. I think I'm well suited to carry out this project despite my primary knowledge being the creation, performance, and distribution of music, because I plan to collaborate with many different people and organizations to fill my knowledge gaps and have the best chance of success possible. So my goals with this project are: number one, create and distribute a massive catalog of public domain and Creative Commons music. Though I haven't really mentioned it yet, making the music this project produces freely and easily accessible to the public is the most important thing. The music and being able to play it and perform it easily is the concrete thing everybody will have to show for their contributions. Number two, I want musicians and ensembles to have a better framework for going into underserved communities. There's a lot of focus in the music world of going to where the audience is, but a lot of times musicians can kind of overlook their own communities or don't really know the best way to engage with it. I also fall into this camp. My hope is that by not only making people aware of the communities, but showing that the communities want to actively engage with musicians and ensembles, more people will be willing to bring their music to them and the people they serve. Number three, I want these underserved communities to have more opportunities to attend live music events. Live music tends to either be difficult to get to, which is not great for people who are disabled or people who have limited transportation options, or just prefer to, do the more environmentally friendly thing of biking, busing, walking, things like that. Or it can be very expensive to go to live events, which is not good for people who maybe a little bit tighter on their wallet, like myself. I don't think it has to be this way. Live music can be enjoyed by everyone, and it can be life-changing for those that experience it. So I took a class field trip to see our local orchestra, and I was just blown away. Being enveloped in sound, it was magical, and I was just like, I love that. I love this. This is what I want. I didn't know it at the time that I was going to be a musician, but I was very much like, this is magical. So yeah, and I want more people to experience that. Number four, I want to encourage the development of large, medium, and small ensembles. I think that community ensembles can do a great job at programming for their community and sharing that community and its experiences with others. A project like this is nice, but I think that instead of waiting for one artist like me to come by with a project to like collaborate on, I want the community to be able to envision and enact programming that is especially meaningful to them. My process for achieving these goals is very simple. First, I want to create or commission new music. Obviously, this is going to be at the core of the entire project. Creating the music, even without the performances, will still enable most of my goals. Another major part of being able to achieve my goals is by reaching out to underserved communities and the people who lead those communities. I'm not a part of the majority of communities I'll be reaching out to, and that means that I wouldn't know how to create an experience that is meaningful to them. I want especially the input of people who are a part of the communities, because it's not just a concert. I want the music and the experience I create to be seen as like a gift and a show of support, not as like something kind of like superficial or anything like that. So I really want to create something that is very meaningful and showing like, hey, you know, we're here with you, we support you. I talk a lot about what I don't know, but that's not because I'm incompetent. I know what I know. I'm willing to learn what I need to, but I recognize where I fall short. A lot of my process for achieving my goals is going to be consulting. I'm going to consult with community leaders, event planners, especially event planners, because I have very little experience planning events. And I think that beyond a concert, providing an environment and experience conducive to people connecting with the community will be vital to the success of my project. I plan to have the orchestration of my pieces be flexible enough that we could use whoever we are fortunate enough to have working with us. And I think being flexible in this regard is a must. I want to especially include musicians that represent the communities we're performing for. I think it could be a great way to energize the music in those communities. And as a bonus, the best marketing is word of mouth, so even the musicians can help us out in that regard. So, you know, it's all kind of like a win-win. Obviously, funding, marketing, securing contracts is probably going to be the most important step in determining not only the size of the event, but also how successful it will be in achieving our goals. I'm not really fond of the idea of straight up just canceling an event just because we don't have all the funding. I still, even if we don't reach our goal of the funding, I still at least want to be like, hey, at the very least, here's this gift of music. The legacy of this project is the new music that will be created. Of course, there's going to be pictures, recordings, memories, videos, but the music is going to be like a physical thing that you can like touch and hold. Well, at least you know, like when you print it out. No, of course we're going to do the digital distribution. It's fairly easy. The tricky part is a little bit more of the physical distribution, which I'm still kind of trying to figure out. For instance, we can donate scores to music libraries in like colleges, or just, you know, distribute them that way, find a way to publish them, etc., etc. The budget is calculated partially by how much I expect to need based on similar projects, and partially by how much I think that the events will be able to pull in. I don't think $75,000 is a large budget at all, but I want to try and be resourceful. My personal opinion is that I don't think you have to have something super fancy to have like a meaningful impact, but I do definitely want to put some effort into making it nice. So let's go through some of the planned expenses. So $9,600 in artist fees. This is money for me. It's pretty important, you know, because I will be dedicating a huge chunk of my time to making sure everything works out, the music. You know, coordinating, composing, communicating, collaborating, a lot of the backstage stuff, plenty of the front stage stuff is going to be in my hands, you know, and I don't want to take it out of like any of the other budget areas. The second one is operating expenses. I don't expect this will come to all that much. Most of this should go to marketing for the year, but I still want to have a little bit of a sizable budget for any software, rights management, distribution, transportation, insurance, website fees, etc. that might come up. $5,000 for venue and equipment rental, I think is maybe a little bit on the small side. But I also think that I didn't want to put too much into this because I was looking up venues and rentals for like instruments and stuff, and they're actually like fairly inexpensive. So I don't plan to have like every single thing on my calendar be like a live event. And I also hope to use a community center as like a venue, and they could you know, give us a little bit of a more friendly rate, or you know, like they're not all that expensive to begin with. As far as like for equipment rental, again, equipment's not all that expensive. The main thing is probably if we have to transport large percussion. I put that in the operating budget as transportation because I think that'll probably be that main thing, but most, you know, musicians will have their own equipment. $50,000 in personnel fees. Now you may be asking yourself, is this going to salaries? No, it is not going to salaries. The bulk of this is going to be going towards musicians, collaborators, speakers, security. This is like the people budget. I want to pay people fairly for their work. Pretty much everyone is going to either be getting like a flat fee for per service or like a per hour thing. It feels bad to be underpaid, like really it does, and I don't want anyone who is working with me to feel like I'm trying to underpay them. So this is where the bulk of the money is going to go. It's going to go towards the people who make the event happen. So yay! And now let's look at the smallest part of the budget. $400. I don't know what to do with this. I just wanted a nice round number. I was like looking at all the expenses and whatnot, and I just wanted a nice round number, you know, $74,600. Looks not as pretty as $75,000. What I decided I was gonna end up doing with it is that especially because some of the events I might end up having a little bit of a surplus. So any money that's just like extra in the budget for that that we earn is going to be basically emergency funds in case we go over on some other thing. And then at the end of the year, I want to split it evenly and donate it to each of the two causes for each of the communities that we worked with. I just think that's like a really nice thing, and it's just kind of like a final, hey, thanks for working with us. And you know, it just you know, just a nice little gift, a nice little thank you. Let's talk about fundraising. This is my very first time actually having to fundraise for myself. I did ask some people about how exactly this all goes. And so their guess is that most of my funding is going to come from grants for my first year, because like my project is really, you know, inclusive and expansive, and you know, it's just kind of nice. You know, it's kind of an easy project to kind of like get behind, to kind of like support. So, you know, I'm really happy and excited about that. That my project is good. Yay! So the funding breakdown is $50,000. It's going to come from grants. I'm already preparing proposals for several grants. So yeah, I'm doing that all by myself, and please pray for me. $10,000 I think will come from donations and event proceeds. This averages out to a little less than $1,000 per event. you understand, I'm going to be having quite a few events. And I think that's pretty doable. I don't want like super huge events anyway. So like if we're having them live, like, you know, in person, I want to keep it kind of small because, you know, I don't want people to get sick, and I don't want to have to deal with like increased operation and venue rental and stuff like that. So I want to keep it fairly small, fairly intimate. And of course, each one of those events is going to be streamed live on the internet because, again, the whole thing is accessibility and people being able to come and see the event in whatever form is most comfortable or most convenient for them. The events are going to be free. I was also kind of like kind of floating around an idea of like maybe like a suggested donation, or like maybe like a pay it forward kind of thing. We're expecting $10,000 to just come from, hey, I like your project, here you go, or hey, your event was awesome, here you go. About 10,000 from sponsorships. Some people have said this is a little bit on the low side, especially considering that I can ask multiple sponsors and throughout the year and all of that. But I think this is probably going to be pretty accurate considering I don't expect the attendance numbers to be all that high. I don't want to overestimate how much money we could probably get. And then about $5,000 from in-kind, $5,000 worth, there we go, of in-kind donations. In-kind donations, as I understand, are the monetary equivalent of goods or services donated. So like if somebody donated their website building services, then whatever the rate they would normally charge would be their in-kind donation. And then they can get like a tax write-off for that. So I thought that was really cool. The reason why in-kind is so low is because I think that we're going to have everything we need. We're not going to necessarily need a ton of in-kind donations. Plus, I mean, I just kind of think it's better to pay people. Plus, we're starting off fairly small. So again, I don't think we're going to be needing that much. So on to the events that we are planning for this year, and you can read them. Juneteenth is not on my calendar because I'm already doing something on Juneteenth, so I can't do two things at once. I wish I could. I will probably actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a piece for Juneteenth at the very least, but I won't actually be able to like plan an event because I'm already booked. Second half of the year, 4th of July, is going to be new music premiere. I'm thinking that it's going to be more than just a new music premiere. I'm thinking that's what it's going to be, but I don't have anything concrete yet. I have pretty much done everything I needed to do besides like actually like put it in motion for the first half of the year. The second half of the year is a little bit more fuzzy. So 4th of July, we'll get something really nice. It won't be in person because there's too much going on in the 4th of July. And then we're going to take like a short break and for the rest of July. As far as December goes, it's going to be very light because I want to spend time with my family. All right, so that's my entire plan for 2024. If you got any questions, you can leave a comment. You can reach out to me on social media. You can visit one of my live streams and ask me there. I'll do my very best to answer. Thank you for watching this video. Check the pinned comment below for links on the project progress, how to make a tax-deductible donation, how to make a not tax-deductible donation, but you get a perk towards it. Again, plugging my Patreon. And you know, thank you for your time. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys soon with another update.